I think Wole Soyinka is becoming should I call him a classical hypocrite of our time. This is a man who has spent nothing less than 8 decades on this planet Earth. And in my own view, I think he enjoyed the very best of Nigeria, right from the years of colonialism to post-colonialism. And it's a shame for him to not support a man like Peter Obi, who seems to be a little bit younger than Nigeria, because Peter Obi, of course, is younger than Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, or just maybe a year or two older than Nigeria. And this is a man who thinks like like a first world country, the leaders of a first world country. This is a man who is so digitized, a man who is so exposed. But I wonder what is the interest of Wole Soyinka. Okay, Wole Soyinka is a very respected noble laureate, but in the recent time, I think he has lost all that glory and dignity. Because when you fight with a pig in the mud, you should be ready to get what? Get dirty. And of course, to be a very sad note to see that Wole Soyinka is trying to end his career and his lifetime in a very sad note. Because at this time, I think Wole Soyinka should be setting his legacy, that he was one of those people that placed Nigeria on the right path on their leadership recruitment process. Right? Wole Soyinka should be a man that will advise you that when you want to vote for people, don't vote for old men. Vote for people who are still sharp in their mind, who are still very active, who knows what is going on. Today, Tinubu doesn't even know what is going on around him. There's no self-awareness, there's no self-alertness. A Tinubu who doesn't even understand how to use the social media. It is not about speaking grammar. My very revered professor. You know, I was never a literature student, so I didn't even care about him, right? But of course, we expect him to be brilliant, and in addition to that, he should have wisdom. But I think wisdom is lacking at this moment of Wole Soyinka's. Yes, Obedient insulted him, okay? But he deserves the insult, and let me tell you why. Wole Soyinka enjoyed the golden days of Nigeria, and that is why he was able to attain professorship. Wole Soyinka in his lifetime enjoyed considerable amount of scholarships. Let me tell you, there are so many minds that are brighter than Wole Soyinka today, but because the system has been bastardized, people don't have access to enjoy scholarship again. Now it is an issue of man, no man. You qualify for scholarship, but they will take that scholarship and give it to a son of a politician. All right? There's no issue of meritocracy again. Wole Soyinka enjoyed the dividends of meritocracy. It's as simple as that. Is that not what Wole Soyinka should be the advocate of? Push for meritocracy. Wole Soyinka has not for one day, for the last 1 year of Tinubu's presidency, say one thing about Tinubu. It's a shame Wole Soyinka is seen as a leader of the pack, most especially those in the literature world, right? In the theater arts. Every words that should be coming out from Wole Soyinka today should be words that ought to be written on the marble. But I don't understand what is going on here. Wole Soyinka is allowing his emotions to override his logical reasoning. This is about nation building. Leave people to be out of your mouth. Call the current president. He is the one in charge. Call him out.
But you are going to come and say that Peter Obi is aware of the insult and that the insult that Obedient have been abusing, that he is fully aware, but that he didn't come out literally stop them to stop insulting people. Even aside himself, that they usually come out to embarrass people for by coming out to say the truth. Do you not think the Obedient are taking it too far? As regards Peter Obi president candidacy for 2027?
You see, I am not a supporter of Peter Obi, but I'll tell you that Peter Obi is a gentleman whom, because of his gentility, that's why Soyinka thinks cannot lead Nigeria. Let me tell you, a leader that must lead Nigeria today must be aggressive and must be radical. But in general, he must be a good person. Because Nigerians are not people who want words to be sugar-coated. They want words to be spoken to them right in their face. And this is why Wole Soyinka today is still thinking he can attack Peter Obi. Peter Obi must be ready to discharge himself. I think this was my gross routine when he went to meet Atiku. You're not supposed to rub your shoulders. Stick with your obedient fan base. Garner more support. These are people that have been oppressed. Obedient belong to the class of the oppressed. And when you beat a child, you don't ask him how he should cry. Nobody does that. You don't beat your child and tell your child that don't cry like this. This is how you. No. Why did you beat the child? Is the first thing first. Wole Soyinka is not just a father. He's a great grandfather of obedience. And these are kids that have suffered. These children never enjoyed free education. They didn't have no visa on arrival. Opportunities. Wole Soyinka even had green card given to him on a platter. Right? Obedient are crying, you are telling them, my brother, you are supposed to be either excluding yourself or you are supporting them. It's as simple as that. What body language is Tinubu showing to support the youth? You got trolled because you just decided to attack their own personal Lord and Savior, Obi. And they have a right to insult you. You are not above insults. Listen, Joe Biden received insult more than you, Wole Soyinka. And I'm sure if I look at scheme of things, Wole Soyinka is not as important as Joe Biden. Right? So, I mean, if he gets insulted, he has definitely called for that insult.
Okay, but you also made mention of something that Wole Soyinka he hasn't come out to say anything bad about Tinubu's government. Do you not think Wole Soyinka is making a coward move, by not coming out to speak as regards the sufferness of Nigerians and Tinubu's government? Is it because Tinubu is Yoruba that is not coming out to speak against Tinubu's government?
I think this question, for me, I mean, we just have about 1 to 2 weeks to finally conclude that Wole Soyinka is an ethnic jingoist, a Yoruba tribalist. Because I remember about 6 months ago when they were celebrating 6 months of Tinubu, he said no, that he has never in his lifetime ever assessed any government, not until 1 year in government. So we'll see. By next week, by June, maybe by mid-June, let's see if he's going to criticize him. But for now, I don't want to jump into conclusion. But if he doesn't do that, we'll be here. We'll give him his, we'll give him his shot. We'll throw his bullet on his chest. He has said that he doesn't assess anybody not until after a year or so. So, I mean, Tinubu is just nearly a year. In the next 4 days, he'll be celebrating 1 year. So we'll see. Perhaps, maybe Wole Soyinka on his own. Yes, but there's so many sentiments because we know that we saw what Wole Soyinka and Tinubu did during that Occupy Nigeria 2012. We saw how Wole Soyinka led a protest. We know all this. And he himself has, in the past, mentioned how Tinubu sponsors him financially and all the like. So, we understand that nobody wants to bite the fingers that feed him. However, maybe his reputation will finally be tarnished in the next coming weeks. Thank you for having me. Okay.
And lastly, Obi that thing on Arise TV, Charles, the presenter, asked him that told him about the insult Wole Soyinka threw at Peter Obi, and he has come and said that has come out to say that Wole Soyinka is scared of good governance, and that's why he's acting the way he's acting. That doesn't want to mind words with Wole Soyinka. So what can I say to this?
I think Obi that is Baba Amir Yusuf. I had a wonderful interview. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago on Arise News? I watched it this morning, and I think Obi Dati is a missing link. Yusuf Dati represents the bravery Peter Obi lacks. Obi Dati said that Wole Soyinka, in the scheme of things, is irrelevant, and he could utter 2 or 3 words that would render Soyinka useless for good. And I'll ask myself, wow, a classical hypocrite. Wow, a whole Nobel laureate. He said all Nobel laureates in the world wide, all wide world, that the only one that is a rascal is Wole Soyinka. And I was like, wow, you call Wole Soyinka a rascal? He said, we have hundreds of them, but Wole Soyinka seems to be the only rascal amongst Nobel laureates. This was the word of Yusuf Baba Ahmed. Yes, that's it. So I think Yusuf Ahmed needs, Wole Soyinka needs to, at this time of his life, have that introspect, have a rethink. Because Yusuf Baba Ahmed said that a democracy only works for people who understand that they are being free. And it stands today, Nigerians don't see themselves as free man and free woman. Because when you are free, you fight for your freedom. That Ahmed said that Nigerians are not ready to fight. Because ordinarily they should have gone out to fight. Because even the constitution backs them up. So for me, I think a person like Yusuf Dati is a very, well-befitting person who should lead the Nigerian youth. But of course, he still takes Peter Obi as his principal. Thank you very much for having me.